Hey kids, welcome back to the science lab. We're doing spooky science for Halloween. We're gonna talk about the spooky changes that we can make in chemistry. The two changes we can make are either chemical changes, which are spooky, or physical changes, which are still spooky. Here's a quick example of a physical change. I can take this piece of paper and I can change it by crumpling it up into a ball. It has physically changed, but we know it's a physical change because I can get it back into this piece of paper, like this. Ta-da! I could also change it into like a paper airplane and then unfold it back into a piece of paper. But that's how we know it's a physical change. It's still a piece of paper before and after the change.
Play-Doh. Let's see if you guys can tell if this is a physical or a chemical change. Have a ball of Play-Doh. What do you think? Physical or chemical? Physical.
Let's do another one.
A little dramatic there, Mr. Kyle.
I can't believe you said I was dramatic. That makes me angry. Tearing up a piece of paper is another example of a physical change because it's still a piece of paper. And you could technically get it back because you could, they remake paper, you could mulch it and then relay it out and dry it, and it's still paper. But here's an example of a chemical change. Don't do this at home. I can do it because I have adult supervision here, right, Mrs. Reinfelder?
I could go get an adult.
Oh yeah, we should do that. Look at this. We know this is a chemical change because the paper is no longer paper, it's now ash. I cannot get paper back out of this. There's no button on my lighter that says unburn paper. I can't flip a switch and then unburn it. It doesn't work that way. And because I can't get that paper back, I now know this is a chemical change.
Hey, Mr. Kyle, I made something special just for Halloween. I put in the box. Yeah, do it. Put your hand in it. Yeah. Put your hand in it. Yeah, you can't peek. You can't peek.
No.
What is it? Go. You just do it, you big baby.
It's eyeballs.
It's eyeballs. Yeah. No. What is it really?
Oh God. It's
Orbeez. Orbeez are a great example of a change. They start out as little plastic pellets, and then you add water, and the molecular structure of the Orbeez likes to attach to the water molecule. So these Orbeez just suck up all those little extra water molecules. So is that a chemical or a physical change, guys? Can we get it back? The answer is actually yes. If we set these guys out in the sun, the water molecules will evaporate and they will turn back into the little plastic pellets, and you can use them again and again. So that is boop, 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 physical change. Woo!
Miss Reinfelder, I loved your present so much, I made one for you. All you gotta do is put your hand in the box.
I've heard about paybacks.
You can do it, it's fine.
Oh, gross! What is that?
Brains.
Right. Oh, yes. Oh my God! It's so nasty. It's slimy. What the heck? Oh, it is slime. Yeah. Oh, how'd you? Oh, look how gross it is.
Ew, it sat out too
That's
long.
gotta be the grossest batch of slime you've ever made. It feels kind of like brains or intestines.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that is spooky science.
This one was a lot of fun and it's really easy. It's just Elmer's glue and borax, which is it's like a detergent you can get from the store for pretty cheap, and some water, and you just mix it up and there you go. But do you guys think this is a chemical change or a physical change? Can I get that glue back out of there?
No, Mr. Kyle, I don't think you can. I'm pretty sure this one, I vote chemical change.
Absolutely chemical change.
Oh.
Alright, so in the world of chemistry, there are a few signs that let you know if something is a chemical change or a physical change. Number one, when you change the shape of something, like we did with the Play-Doh and the paper, we know that that is a physical change. We also know this from water, like if you take water and you freeze it, it becomes hard and you can change the shape. That is a physical change because you can melt it and get it back into water. You can also boil it off into steam, and that steam can collect on like your bathroom mirror from when you take a really hot shower, and that turns back into water. So water going through these states of matter changes are also physical changes. Color. When something changes color, kind of not like when you draw something or dye something. It's like when something changes color, like if you put, what's a good example?
pH testing.
pH testing is a good example. There used to be like, things you can do with fireworks, like when you add magnesium or copper to them, it changes the color of the fire, and that's a symbol or an example of a chemical change. Over here, when the temperature in something changes, not like when you cook it and make it hot, but when there's an exothermic or endothermic reaction, like there is a cooling pad that paramedics use, like if you hit your head or you bruise your elbow, and first aid kits have them a lot too. They're like two bags, one bag inside of another, and you break the inside bag open and mix the chemicals together, and all of a sudden it's really, really cold. And that's an example of a chemical change in temperature. And then-
Also cooking, right?
Also cooking, yeah.
Yeah.
And then a state of matter change, like we talked about with water, is physical. And then smell. When something smells different or produces a smell, you know that a gas is being formed from the two compounds, which is another sign of a chemical change. And then combustion, which is my favorite one, which is a fancy word for explosions. Happens usually in a chemical change, like again, in fireworks. And then lastly, bubbles. Not like if you can blow bubbles in soap, but if you mix some stuff together and all of a sudden bubbles start to form, you know that you have a change in chemical. So, bubbles, again, a chemical change.
All right, guys. And on our Halloween, we invited our friend Jack to play with us, and we want to see what kind of changes are going on in his head. Now, we can add a few things to make chemical changes happen in Jack's head. We're going to put 6 tablespoons of water, 2, 3, and a heaping teaspoon of Yeasty Beasties. Yeast is actually a small microorganism that loves to eat sugar and ferments, which makes bubbles in your bread. Add that. Jack's head. And a couple tablespoons of dish soap. Bubbles. Now that's not a chemical change. It's just Mrs. Frankfelder having fun with dish soap. for the magic touch, we need a little bit of peroxide. Now this isn't your average peroxide that you might have at home and clean boo-boos with. This is the kind of peroxide they use as in hair products when they're coloring hair. And we need 1 cup peroxide. That in. Wow! Yeah, kids. This is what you're gonna look like if you eat too much candy on Halloween. Happy Halloween, Jack. Well, we hope you had fun learning with us about physical versus chemical change.
I hope you guys have a good Halloween and be safe out there. Bye.
Bye, guys.